Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Emmett Jordan. I'm the mayor of the City of Greenbelt, and I'd like to welcome you to today's business conference. We're here together at the beautiful Crowne Plaza Hotel in Greenbelt, and it's a beautiful day here, and to actually be here in the Crowne Plaza once again. They've undergone some extensive renovations over the last couple of years, and it's a beautiful spot to be in. And actually, today, during the business conference, we'll be hearing from a number of people, of businesses. Particularly, the discussion is going to be about workforce development. It's going to be about jobs, creating that pipeline from people that are looking to be more involved and actually meeting the needs of our business community. So this business conference is something that has been happening in Greenbelt for quite some time, and our Director of Economic Development, Kevin Simpson, is the coordinator of today's event and works with the city, and it has actually been doing quite a bit of outreach throughout the city and throughout the county to actually heighten awareness about the business community in the City of Greenbelt. So I want to make sure to acknowledge my colleague from the City Council, Rick Gordon, Councilman. I want to make sure to once again thank the Crowne Plaza Hotel for hosting us. Is Stephanie here? Hey, Stephanie. And our business, Greenbelt Business Alliance. How many of you are members of the Greenbelt Business Alliance? Important organization. So if you don't know what it is, stop by the table back there and sign up for great information to be able to network and share and work together. When we come together as businesses, as the business community, and communicate and share our needs and desires and work together, all boats kind of rise when we're working together. So that's the real purpose of the event today. And the City of Greenbelt is committed to making sure that the resources are there, that our businesses can thrive. So, thank you for being here. Thank you to the sponsors for making this happen. Thanks to Greenbelt Access Television as well. And I'm going to sit down because there's a lot of important business to cover today. So once again, thank you. Welcome to Greenbelt. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing business. Greenbelt is open for business. Thank you very much. Kevin?
Thank you, Mayor Jordan. I'm Kevin Simpson. I'm the Economic Development Manager for the City of Greenbelt. It is a pleasure to welcome you all at the Greenbelt Business Conference here at Crowne Plaza Hotel. I just want to introduce a few of our sponsors before we have our main presenter, which is Employ Prince George's. We have a few sponsors. We have Crowne Plaza Hotel, of course, where we're having this great event. We also have the Greenbelt Business Alliance, and we also have Greenbelt Access Television. And we have a special guest, which is FSC First. I'm going to have each of those representatives come and speak briefly before you all, just to talk about their organization, the services they provide, and the benefits that they provide to businesses. So first, we're going to have Stephanie Edwards, who's the Director of Sales for Crowne Plaza Hotel. So let's give her a round of applause as she comes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Kevin, thank you, and Mayor, thank you for being here. As you can see, the Crowne Plaza, which used to be the old Marriott, has gone through an extensive renovation. We have over 11,000 square feet of meeting room space, over 291 sleeping rooms, with also some suites. We can host from one person up to 250, depending on your setup. The room that you're in now is our Annapolis room, which is a smaller room, but we also have a grand ballroom. So if anyone is looking for an event, meeting, party, especially the holidays are coming up, so please keep us in mind for your holiday parties. Book early and you can receive a special discount. I have my business cards that will be out front, so you can give me a call. Also, if anyone would like to take a tour of the hotel, you can do that today, or you can give me a call and we can set up something for you to come by and take a look. But once again, thank you for being here, and thank you for letting us host you, and we look forward to developing a great relationship with the City of Greenbelt. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you to Crowne Plaza Hotel for hosting us. Next, we will have Jessica Wilson, who is the Chief Strategy Officer for CCI Health Services, one of our partners in the City of Greenbelt, a major nonprofit and a major health service provider in the state of Maryland. Also, Jessica serves as the secretary of the Greenbelt Business Alliance. She'll be talking to us and speaking to us about the Greenbelt Business Alliance. So let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We were so excited to sponsor this event today. The Greenbelt Business Alliance started about a year ago as a way to build a better business community here in Greenbelt. We have really drastically grown our presence. We officially are a 501c3, which is great. We got that about 2 weeks ago, so we're really ready to hit the ground running. We currently have 24 active business members right now, which range from small businesses, single person businesses, larger organizations like CCI, other hotels. Really looking forward to our 25th member to be Crowne Plaza, so I'm gonna cross my fingers. But I really invite all of you who have business or do business in the City of Greenbelt to come chat with us and learn all about what we're doing in order to build a better business community. Everything that the mayor said earlier really truly applies to the work that we're doing. We are looking forward to having kind of a formal launch event in September at the Old Greenbelt Theater, so stay tuned for more details on that, which will really kind of showcase and roll out all of the amazing plans we have for the next 12 months. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Greenbelt Business Alliance, for your work and leadership and just what you all do with the business community. Next, we will have the Greenbelt Access Television, who has been kind enough to record this conference. We will have Frank Gervasi, president of Greenbelt Access Television. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Greenbelt Access Television's been around since 1986. Congress chartered us, and we are part. If you pay cable TV, you have a little thing called a PEG bill, and that PEG, $3, two of it goes to us, one of it goes to the Greenbelt government channel. We do mostly this kind of a thing, what life in Greenbelt. Our mission is to talk about that. Our mission is to educate and to give public access. So if any of you budding filmmakers or experienced filmmakers want to run something on our TV station, we'll be glad to have it. You can watch us on cable, if you have cable, on Channel 19, Verizon, Channel 77, Comcast, or anywhere in the world. We live stream at greenbeltaccesstv.org. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see everybody. This is a wonderful conference, and we're glad to be here filming it. So, and you can watch it probably next week on the air. So, anyway, nice to see you.
Thank you, Frank and Greenbelt Access Television, for your hard work and service. We have a special guest, and that's FSC First. They're a major organization that provides access to capital to businesses. We're giving you a taste. We're hoping in perhaps a future conference to have them present at an extended level, but we're having them just a little taste, and we're having Mr. Joseph Dexter, who's the Business Development Officer. He's going to speak briefly about FSC First. So just want to introduce him, and let's give him a round of applause as he comes.
Thank you, Kevin, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, FSC First is honored to be here. This is where we're supposed to be. By way of background, we're a 45-year-old organization, a nonprofit, charged with lending money to small businesses that for years have been ignored, underserved by the banks, though we work with the banks to a very large degree, and to the extent that we have 14 different programs targeted for small businesses. These include the SBA programs, these include grants, these include geographically based programs, and then the rest of them are from the state, and really with our programs we could touch every single one of you. So we're honored to be here. It's a big year for us. We're charged with, well, myself and Chris back there and my boss, Stu, who many of you know, we're charged with getting $60 million out to you guys. It's a challenge, and it's something that we've embraced, and we're here to talk to you. We're here to be your advocates. We're here to support your business, and as a means of extension beyond lending you the money that you need for whatever it is that you need, capital, equipment, real estate. We also have a group called Level Up, and they're well represented here also. And those folks work with people who are getting ready to get ready, people who have ideas, people who don't really know where to go with their plans, and who want to know about how to borrow money, how to put yourself in a position to be attractive to us in particular, so that we could get you what you need. And they work very closely with the EDC and various governmental organizations such as Greenbelt, and going through the Level Up program allows you to get a certification which is recognized not only by us, but by other lenders, meaning that you've gone through a class and you've had a really good basic business education. It helps your qualification. So, we are very holistic with what we do. We could help you from an idea up to mezzanine financing. When you've been in business for 3 years and now you want to buy a $5.5 million building, we could go from a $5,000 grant to $5.5 million. So please go over there. Kevin's over there. Chris is over there. We're all around. Talk to us. We're your advocates when we can help, and very happy to be here. Thank you.
So without further ado, I'm going to introduce and present to others Mr. Walter Simmons. I'm going to briefly go over his bio. Some of you all may know Walter Simmons. Over the past 14 years, Walter Simmons has held various workforce development positions within local and state government, the private sector, and nonprofit industry. Walter takes pride in having worked his way up from the front desk of a youth workforce development program to becoming the executive director of the Prince George's County Workforce Development Board. Walter established the Employ Prince George's in 2018, followed by Employ DMV and the Center for Workforce Excellence International in 2021. Today, Employ Prince George's annual budget exceeds $24 million and 100+ staff. Since 2018, Walter has led Prince George's County in revamping its public workforce systems, building a new American Job Center and Youth Career Center, cutting the county's unemployment rate in half, and increasing services to 25,000 plus job seekers and businesses annually. Employ Prince George's and the Prince George's County Workforce Development Board won the National Association of Workforce Boards WIOA Trailblazer Award. Walter has received numerous honors, including multiple 40 Under 40 awards, being one of the Maryland Daily Record's most influential Marylanders in 2020, and included as one of the most admired CEOs in Maryland in 2021. Most recently, he led the Prince George's County Workforce Development Board in receiving, and he was honored in 2023 as the National Association as the Workforce Development Professionals Workforce Development Professional of the Year. Walter volunteers with multiple nonprofits and serves on a multiple nonprofit board in Maryland, including the Maryland Chamber of Commerce. Nationally, Walter is a member of the Board of Directors for the National Association of Workforce Boards and the Vice Chair of the Boards of Directors for the National Association of Workforce Development Professionals. I know I've said a mouthful, but I'll just sum this up here. Walter is not an expert in workforce development. He is the expert in workforce development. He is a dynamic, yes. He is a dynamic, energetic leader who succinctly discussed the needs of job and workforce development in a way that is very compelling. You are in for a treat. I encourage you to stay tuned, pay attention, and most of all, take notes. Without further ado, I introduce and present to some Mr. Walter Simmons.
I need to bring Kevin with me everywhere I go. I like that. That's the way to boost you up in the morning. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you, as Kevin stated. My name is Walter Simmons. I'm joined today by Ted Wright. Ted is our manager of business services that helps us lead our frontline operations to provide services to you all. I also want to acknowledge and give kudos if you're a staff member of Employ Prince George's here today. Can you put up your hand, please? I'm not going to make you stand up. So I get to take credit for all of the work that these great people do. Extremely group, of dedicated individuals for Prince George's County. And one of the things for those that are in our community network we talk about community. And the way that we can move Prince George's County first, the way that we can move Greenbelt forward is by focusing on community. And to really focus on community, we have to look at those last 5 letters, and that's unity. We have to figure out a way to come together to create a support and foundation to lift everybody up. And that's what we've done over the last 5 years of Employ Prince George's. When I came into the county, we were coming out, trying to rebound from the Great Recession, from a housing foreclosure crisis. We actually started making, monumental gains in workforce development. And how we really started focusing on a community approach is we doubled the amount of people that we were serving. Unfortunately, through federal funding at the time, the county received back-to-back years of 20% budget cuts because of the federal block grants. So at a time when we were bringing our county together to serve double the amount of people, the government cut us by 40%, right? So we're serving double the amount of people with 40% less funds. And that's where we really had to look out and realize that how can we serve? We say at any given time, there's 175,000 residents of our county that need a workforce development service. We have 52,000 businesses in our county, right? So at any given time, there's 200,000 plus people or businesses that need our help. How can we do that? As we looked around, we realized if we looked at this group, this nonprofit, the municipalities, our elected officials, our government officials, our economic development, right? We said, well, we can harness the power of all of these groups. We can serve this population. So in 2018, we created the Prince George's County American Job Center Community Network. And that's the first public workforce system in America that operates as a free membership network. We have 3 tiers of that network: Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So if you want to partner and deliver services, you can be at Tier 1. If you deliver services, but you don't want to have any direct connection, but you just want to be involved as a service delivery partner, we have Tier 2. If you don't want to do anything but get information so that if the right time comes, maybe today, tomorrow, or next year, you have the information to disperse to whomever, you can be a Tier 3. And that's the way we decided that we could bring this community together to provide services to job seekers and businesses. So we'll talk about that today, but I wanted to highlight that this isn't our system. This isn't something that Employed Prince George's does, that when Ted and I talk today, this is something that we do, right? Everything that we're going to talk about is what we do, is what this group does, right? Everybody in this room has a role to play. And as we move forward and really talk about the future of Prince George's County, the role of businesses is going to change in how we dictate the future of the county. And that's something that Ted and I are going to talk about today. So we kind of went through the mission of Employed Prince George's, who we are. We service multiple functions in this county. When we started in 2018, we also went through the nonprofit process because we realized, as I mentioned, we had a 40% budget cut in federal funds and said, hey, we don't receive enough federal funds in Prince George's County. 98 square miles, 484 square miles of land, 52,000 businesses, almost 1 million people. We don't receive enough federal dollars like a DC or a Baltimore to do what we need to do. So we created Employed Prince George's to serve as that philanthropic entity, but how do we still staff the public workforce system? So we manage the fiscal and administrative operations of the Prince George's County Workforce Development Board. We serve as the operator of the Prince George's County Public Workforce System, which we've branded as the Prince George's County American Job Center Community Network. And we've also served as a provider in that system. What's our mission? We want to improve our local economy. We want to create a demand-driven workforce development system. When we talk about demand-driven, we're talking about you all. We want to create a business-driven system, right? We want to figure out what we need to do, what you need to be successful from a workforce development standpoint. And what we want to do is improve the productivity of your businesses by providing you with job seekers that are skilled and qualified. We know that if we can help you grow and be successful, you're going to increase revenues and you're going to create in-demand, livable wage career jobs. And we want to provide Prince George's County residents to fill those jobs so that we can create a robust economy and compete in our global market. In simple, we want to be the bridge between job seekers and businesses, right? When I say demand-driven workforce system, how our system operates is that the business is the customer, right? And all of our community providers, public school system, our colleges and universities, our nonprofits, our faith-based institutions, our private career schools, they serve as manufacturers. These manufacturers are producing a product. That product is the job seeker, right? So we have a customer, a manufacturer, and a product, right? You rarely hear me, and Kevin and Mayor Jordan know, you rarely hear me talk about there's a whole lot of federal laws and regulations and acronym this and acronym that in the government. That's really useless, right? That's really useless for what you all need. What you all need to know is, what are we trying to do? Is you are the customer. Our job in this county as a community is to identify the manufacturers to produce a product, which is a job seeker. Now, what we have here is we have two types of products. We have a raw product, which is a job seeker that isn't job ready, which y'all have probably encountered. I see a serious head shake in the back there, right? You might be dealing with a lot of raw products. We need to connect with her because she's going to get a headache. She was shaking her head so hard, right? She said, yes. I'm sorry, that was funny. And we have a finished product, right? Which is a job seeker that is job ready. Hopefully you see some of those too, right? A little bit. Head ain't shaking that hard. We got to help her, y'all. We got to get her some good people, right? So a raw product and a finished product. And our job in the workforce system, right, is to, one, manufacture more products, right? We don't have enough job seekers, but we need them to be finished products as well. So we have to refine them into being a finished product. And so that's what our system does. We identify our customer, we identify the markets that our customers operate in, we identify the manufacturers that can produce the products that our customers need, And we make sure that we classify our products as raw and finished. And then those that are raw products, we manufacture them, we refine them into a finished product. And then our business engagement team, our business services department, moves those products into the right market and aligns them with the right customer so that you get what you want. It's a simple job. We don't need to talk about grants and acronyms and federal laws. It's the same thing that you all deal with every day: customer, manufacturing, product delivery. So, how do we do that? Again, this is key. If you haven't already, visit pgcajc.com. 2 things I want you to do. I want you to join. I want you to get involved, right? pgcajc.com, right? I want you to become a member. You can become a Tier 3 member just to get access to information. And it's free. All you got to do is fill out a form, sign it. That's what you're a member. Right now, our goal is to get 250 members across Prince George's County. Today, we're probably at about 160, 170. We need to find another 80 members. What we're going to do with those members, now we're going to have a variation of those members. They're going to provide feedback because we need to know what the customers need so we can produce a better product. We also need to do quality assurance. We need to put that USDA stamp on the meat, right? Right? So if y'all don't look at USDA, you might want to inspect it, right? Right? So, but you are the business community, right? It's not education. And I say this in front of the schools. I say this in front of our new superintendent. I said this in front of Dr. Williams, the president of community college. I don't care what y'all think is a good training program. I need to know what you all think is a good program. But I'm going to tell you, historically, our business community has not been involved in the review, in the development of our curriculum and training programs, and we wonder why Prince George County doesn't produce the number of skilled and qualified workers. Academia is saying, well, based on this research, this is what they need. And I was like, well, what is that? Well, you got a lot of research subjects, 52,000 businesses. Did you talk to any of them? Well, no. And we've seen this, right? And so that's why we need you to get involved, right? We're going to talk about how to get involved, but that's the goal of where we're headed. It's also because there's a lot of resources available, right? One of the big things that we talk about is there's $864 billion available related to various projects, right? The biggest ones that I want to talk to you all about today is CHIPS Act. How many of y'all have heard of that? Ooh. CHIPS Act, right? How many of y'all got a phone? Put your hand up. All right, keep your hand up. How many of you all have a vehicle, a computer, right? How many of you all use some kind of technology device? All right, some of y'all ain't put your hand up. What are y'all doing to communicate with people, right? I was trying to get everybody's hands up, and that's why I said some device. All right, there you go. Appreciate it. All right, if you have some kind of technological device that you use, even a remote, how many of y'all got a remote to your TV? Come on now, some of y'all got it. I didn't ask if you can find the remote. Do you have a remote? Right, there you go. Right? All right, now I got all the hands up. Y'all a hard crowd. Right? Y'all walk around with no phone? Jeez. All right, since everybody got a hand up with a remote, you have a computer chip that you rely on. If you're going to watch public access television, you rely on a computer chip. We've been historically relying on foreign countries to produce the computer chips for things that we need every day. And during the pandemic, and highlighted through the transportation logistics issues, is that we weren't able, because when we shut down commerce, right, we weren't able to import enough chips, and that's why your prices of cars went up, prices of computers went up, prices of phones, because there started being a deficit in the access to chips. So what the federal government did is said, we're going to invest and create the CHIPS Act to create more chip producing manufacturers in America. One of the big pieces of the CHIPS Act is that they also want to focus on urban manufacturing. They want to start moving the different type of manufacturing instead of these large buildings out in the middle of nowhere in Omaha, Nebraska, in Iowa. They said, well, why can't we put manufacturing, use urban manufacturers and be more innovative in how we manufacture these chips or the products and industries associated with chips and do more urban manufacturing? And so that's why I think if you're not looking into that, and then there's also every business that supports the chip manufacturing, all those other businesses, right? So that's something that you all should look into, right? As you look at, is there something that you do? Could you manufacture? Do you have a facility, or do you have an associated industry that could benefit and relate to the CHIPS Act? We're talking about a total of $800 billion in capital. The second thing is infrastructure. How many of you all see traffic and cones as you're driving around? Right, yeah, they got that. Now listen, get used to it. Thanks to Joe Biden and Congress and the infrastructure bill, we're gonna be fixing the Beltway for the next 10 years. Everybody's getting an additional lane on the highway. We're gonna be out, you get an extra lane on your highway, you get an extra lane. You get a new bridge, we don't need a bridge, well you got a bridge. You get a crosswalk. You're going to get a hump. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's $480 billion just in roads. Everybody's getting new roads. We should, right? $480 billion. Now, keep in mind that this infrastructure includes, and this is where you got to pay attention and look at this. You know what the infrastructure, what they don't talk about, it includes? It includes everything that's associated with it, right? So when you look at Department of Housing and Community Development, you look at sidewalks, you look at greenscapes, you look at if there's a need for playgrounds. A playground could be included in various areas of the infrastructure bill, right? So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things. You see infrastructure, you think the Beltway, but you don't think playground. You don't think greenscape, but that is included. And that's why we have to understand what is included in the infrastructure bill. And this is new, right? This is very new. So a lot of people don't understand it. So many people don't understand it. They don't even know who can apply for this money, right? A lot of people didn't realize, when we were having this conversation in Maryland, one of the biggest grantees that are eligible grantees for revenue out of the infrastructure bill in Maryland that people didn't realize is the Maryland Stadium Authority. That's how much people didn't know. So when we met with the Maryland Stadium Authority, I said, what is your plan for the infrastructure bill? Well, they said, Walter, we're the Stadium Authority. I said, yeah, but based on the Maryland charter, you're an eligible applicant. And I said, well, what do we need to do? Right? And so that's how new it is, right? Mayor Jordan knows this. We've been in meetings, and he can tell you a lot of people do not know, and so it's a learning process. But what we have to do as the community, we have to be knowledgeable, we have to hold each other accountable, we have to assist each other, and when the time comes, it needs to be Prince George's County versus everybody else. Because we have to make sure that we put applications together to secure this funding, because we are competing with Montgomery County. And we know y'all are going to focus on Greenbelt, right? Rightfully so. But we have to look together as partners, because we compete with Montgomery County, Alexandria, D.C., Loudoun, Fairfax, West Virginia, Anne Arundel, Baltimore. So we have to figure out how do we, as a community, unite through unity to put applications to bring this capital back to our region, to our communities, right? Right? So those are things to look at. We're going to be having, if you look out, we're going to be having an event coming up. We're not the experts. We're going to invite Paige Shelvin, the United States Department of Transportation representative, to come down, and we're going to have some conversations. We're going to make sure you all get the information, talk to Kevin, get the information, because he's everywhere, right? And invite, man, Jordan everywhere too, and then Rick is everywhere too. So y'all got a lot of people that's everywhere, right? But we're going to invite, because I want you all to hear directly from the horse's mouth, Paige Shelvin from the US DOT to get that information. So CHIPS Act infrastructure bill. Next thing we need to talk about is broadband. That's another one. Billions of dollars. And there's access for communities, residents get access, there's digital literacy, there's also broadband infrastructure, right? That's something we're going to have to pay attention to, right? Another billion, right? Then green energy. Green energy is going to be key, right? You've seen they talk about the wind energy and what they're doing on the shore, and you hear about what they're doing at Trade Point Atlantic, but Prince George's County is a prime area as well, right? It's not just wind. Everybody wants to talk about, wind, but it's green. It's everything related to green energy, right? And it doesn't have to be, are you making solar panels? No, it's not necessarily that. It's everything that's associated to that industry is able to get involved in these projects. So if you haven't done the research on green energy bills, on infrastructure bills, on broadband, right, and CHIPS Act, that's $800 billion that you haven't been plugged into, that you don't know what's happening. And the thing is, they have specific applications, they have specific eligible applicants, and they have specific reasons to get points, and how you can have an application that's more attractive, right? That's something that I think everybody should pay attention to, right? And as you all are finding eligible projects or opportunities, partnering together with local government to make sure that you are getting access to that opportunity and bringing that home, right? So how do we go about doing that, right? We talk about our community network. Now, what is Employ Prince George's doing, right? We want to make sure that if we can bring funding back here, that you can have a workforce to perform on your current revenue and projects and then future revenue and projects. Now, in my 15 years of doing this, I see a lot of small and medium-sized businesses, hear a lot of focus on not a focus on the workforce development. I'm not talking about recruitment. I'm not necessarily talking about HR, recruitment in terms of workforce development. When I say, what does workforce development mean for you all? What I mean is, when's the last time you updated your job descriptions? Do you have appropriate job descriptions? Are they updated? Do you have career pathways in your business? What is an entry-level classification in your business? And what is the expert-level classification in the business? And have you created a pathway where a job seeker can see themselves grow with their company? Gallup released a poll last year, and they said that even more than remote work and COVID, growth opportunities is one of the most attractive items that a job seeker looks for in a company. Then right after that was remote work, right? But a lot of people said that they would give up remote work if they knew that there were opportunities to grow within that company. And a lot of times I see our business engagement team, Erica, we came in together, Perez. A lot of times when we go out, one of the questions they'll ask, what are the growth opportunities? We go, well, but I'm telling you, that's what Gallup is, tens of thousands of employees, that's what they're asking. Can I grow with your company? What does that look like? If you can't answer that question, and right now, we're no longer, when I first met Mayor Jordan, right, several years ago pre-COVID, we were in a business market. Business can come to a job fair and they pick and choose. Now you're in a job seeker market. It's like online dating. Right? Now they just flipping through and they swiping left or right. Right? And they have the opportunity, if they don't like it, they'll swipe. I don't know if it's right or left. And some of y'all didn't put your hand up because you didn't have a phone, so I ain't gonna ask y'all. I'm really not gonna ask anybody if you're online dating. Don't put your hand up. Don't put your hand up. That's not one of the things you disclose at a business conference, right? So if you know, let us know afterwards if it's right or left, yay or nay. Do not put your hand up. right? So, yeah, I know I was a comedian. That's because I had that T over there, right? You got me going. I forgot to tell you, got to talk, right? Tell me, like, when's my turn, right? All right, so, get a little closer, Ted. So, you gotta look at the market. So you gotta look at, when y'all go to a hiring event, right, your competition is sitting right next to you. Why would somebody swipe right on you or left versus the person next to them? You are competing at every job fair with that. What is the significance of that? Prince George's County's got 1 million people, right? We got 52,000 businesses. Right now, unemployment is 2.3%. That's 11,000 people. 11,000 people for 484 square miles of land. They got a lot of opportunities. We know that 75% of our residents work outside the county, so when you look at around the region, that's 165,000 businesses within a 700 square mile radius. So there's a lot of business competition. We're seeing right now in this labor market that job seekers are accepting 2 and 3 jobs at one time and going to all of them. And within the first 2 weeks, they are figuring out which one they want to stay with. Now, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. When you hear about people ghosting their employer, no, they dumped you. Like The Bachelor. We sending you home. You're not the one. I'm not sure you might be the one. I'm not saying that, right? That's what's happening. So you have to look at that. So what are we doing? We have identified in Prince George's County 13 in-demand industries. We've outlined them in our local plan. We've said that of those 13 in-demand industries, we're going to have 11 priority industries. We've taken those 11 priority industries and broken them down and grouped them into clusters. So we've created 6 clusters. Healthcare and social assistance. To partner with healthcare and social assistance, we have the Capital Area Healthcare Alliance. IT and cybersecurity, we have the Educational Partnership for IT Careers. Professional services, professional scientific and technical services, business services, education, and government services, we have the Professional Services Institute. Construction and real estate and sustainable energy, Construction Works Program. Hospitality and accommodation, food and beverage, recreation and tourism, customer service and entertainment, and retail, Hospitality and Accommodation Institute. Transportation, warehousing, distribution, logistics, and automotive, Transportation and Logistics Consortium. Those are the 6 industry bridge programs. That's what Employ Prince George's does to align those 11 priority industries into 6 clusters. And we created sector strategies. We call them industry bridge programs. We're bridging the gap between job seekers and businesses. Right? We took a huge break during COVID, and now we've been regrouping for the last 8-9 months. And so they have business advisory councils. We have some co-chairs in the room. All right? And what we're trying to do is engage these businesses on a quarterly basis to understand what your needs are. We're releasing reports. We've already released 2, one in healthcare, one in retail and accommodation. Those reports are we're working with the Council for Adult and Experiential Learning, and those reports are taking what you're saying. We're comparing what you're saying you need, skills and qualifications, with what the data says, and we're releasing reports, and we're providing that to the private career schools, the public school system, the community colleges, and saying, this is what businesses need. You need to change your curriculum that's been the same for the last decade to align with this. This is how we're going to compete in a global market. This is why we need you all to join. This is even more important because of 2 initiatives we're starting this year. We're starting this year an initiative called College to Careers. When you talk about workforce development, we got 11,000 people. We can't focus on finding that one person for that one business with 11,000 people, unemployed people, across 484 square miles. That's like finding a needle in a haystack. What we want to do is focus on another manufacturer pipeline. That's why I said this is Workforce 4.0. Years ago, when Mayor Jordan and I first started, we were like, we got to find these unemployed people. Back then, we had 30,000 unemployed people, right? We're not in that place anymore. So to modify the strategy, and we talk about the talent pipeline, we're going to start going to our biggest manufacturers. Who's the biggest manufacturer of talent in Prince George's County? University of Maryland, education system, PGCPS, Bowie State, Capital Technology. So, especially in our post-secondary world, we look at education and go to post-secondary, think about this. That's a talent pipeline leak. When you look at University of Maryland, several years ago, they had data that showed that 55% of every University of Maryland graduate graduated from College Park and went and worked in Montgomery County. 55% left our pipeline. They were ours. We had them. 55% go work in Montgomery County and 45% go work across the world. That's a talent pipeline leak. So with College to Careers, we're working with University of Maryland this year where we want to start engaging through their career services all those graduates, and we're going to create one universal door, and we want to give access to all of your businesses to those graduates, because if a University of Maryland graduate walks across the stage and wants to go to Montgomery County, can't stop them. I want to make sure that if they make that decision, it's because they've already identified at least 3 opportunities with Prince George's County-based businesses. They interviewed with those businesses didn't select them, or they decided they weren't the right fit. I'm okay with that. I don't want to happen what's been happening is they walk across that stage and they leave our county and they never talk to not one of y'all. And that's what's been happening. So we have partnerships, not only with the University of Maryland, but with 16 institutions across the region, from DC, Northern Virginia to Baltimore. And what we're going to do is integrate into their systems to make sure that you, if you register and partner with us, that when you have an opportunity, we can match that with a college student that's graduating. We also want to work on internships, work experiences, because a lot of times we had a training cohort in one of these healthcare program recently, and we had 2 businesses partner. All of the entire graduating class chose one employer. They got offers from both employers, they chose one. A big part of their decision was their externship. When they went to the business and they worked there, they were like, oh, we created a family, I like the boss, so I know who I'm gonna work with if I get hired. And 100% of the class chose that one business. And it's because they already got a chance to get into the culture and they liked it. And so the business that is not offering that work experience, they're on the second hand because these job seekers already got experience in this culture. They already got integrated and they don't want to leave. So we want to provide you all with that opportunity to engage, right? The second thing we want to do is also focus on Blueprint for Maryland. Something that a lot of elected officials know about. I don't know how many businesses are aware. How many of y'all are aware of Blueprint for Maryland? Not enough. Why is that significant to this room? Over the next 3 years, Maryland is investing out of the Blueprint for Maryland $210 million to connect public school, middle and high school students to local careers. They're investing $210 million over the next 3 years solely to ensure that middle and high school students know about the careers and job opportunities in their county. So for us alone, we're putting 50 different staff into 62 middle and high schools in Prince George's County. Right? What our goal is we want to not only talk to the students, we're talking to the parents about what you all need for them to be successful from their students. We're talking to the teachers, how they correlate the skills that they're training to the careers. Why is that important? Y'all know Prince George's County high schools have an 80% chronic absenteeism rate? That means 80% of our high school students miss 3 weeks or more per school. Why is that significant? Because the national rate is 18%. 18. Ours is 80. The state average is 30%. Now, we can say whatever we want, but you know what the true issue is around that 80%? There's a lot of related issues. But the most simplistic issue, they're not engaged. They are going to school, and they are not seeing what they can get out of it. So you know what they start doing? Stop going. 80% of our high school students miss 3 weeks or more per school. I firmly believe that they are going to school and they're like, what do I get out of this physics class? Remember y'all the periodic table? CO2, NJ. How many of y'all use that in your life right now? One person down there on the floor? 2? So imagine what the 16-year-old is saying. It's like, how does this benefit me? I think we need to take your careers, public access, people that want to do that, we need to bring that into the schools so they can see it. I think if they saw that, we talk about change you can see is change you can believe in. I believe if they saw your careers and saw that opportunity and knew that there was employment, if they could complete this class, we could decrease that chronic absenteeism rate. That's what we're trying to do over the next 3 years. We need your partnership. We want to bring that mobile unit outside to your business. We want to take you to the school. We need your partnership. We got 3 years. It's a pilot. We got 3 years to show that the business wants to go into the schools. We can create these partnerships. We can decrease the chronic absenteeism rate. We can increase the amount of youth that want to go into careers. And we can show a benefit for the state to keep this program growing. I'm going to tell you, with 11,000 unemployed people and 52,000 businesses, if we don't tap into this next generation, y'all are going to have continuously have a hard time to find that talent if we don't start looking at this public school system and our colleges as like, oh, they're going to graduate and they're going to eventually come to us. If we don't get more aggressive and saying, no, we're not going to hope or wish that they get connected us, we're going to ensure that there's a direct connection, that when they walk across that stage, they already know the employer. I want to see people start putting the sashes around their neck that has your logo on it. This person is graduating, and next week they're going to be starting a job with this business, and your logo is on that. That's what we need to figure out. We got to figure out why does 55% of our largest institution leave our county and in the next 30 days they're in Montgomery. We got to figure out how every year 4,000 young people disappear. They call them out-of-school youth, disconnected youth. Every year at PGS, 4,000 we just lose. They don't see the change. They can't see it, so they don't believe in it. And that's why Prince George County normally ranks number 1 or number 2 of youth poverty and out-of-school youth in Maryland. 18 to 24. You know that we have a 2.3 unemployment rate, but we have half of our county council districts have an unemployment rate for youth that is above 12%. We have some council-managed districts in this county where unemployment is 22% plus. 16 to 24, 22%, a quarter of the population, almost. We're not engaging. That's what said I need you to partner. We know there's billions of dollars opportunity. We know we have people. How do we bring this together? So Ted, and I went over Ted.
No problem, sir.
Right? So Ted is going to give y'all a quick overview.
Real quick.
Right? Well, Kevin said I got some time. Right? But I want y'all to have this information. Right? I said B, 800B with billion. Right? So we got to see that information. Now, what can we do today?
Well, first of all, I want to have everybody give Walter a round of applause for all that great information that he gave us. And I'm hoping that we took copious notes and so that you can actually act on some of this information that he shared with you. So once you get this raw product or the finished product, you're going to end up in business services with Employ Prince George's, and our special team is going to be able to connect you with the businesses that are in that industry. So I'm going to share a little bit about what our business services team actually does. We work with each one of your businesses on a one-on-one or a group basis to be able to find the talent that you actually need to be able to work with Employ Prince George's, hire those individuals that Walter was speaking of, but also be in a position to provide gainful employment for them. The way we do that, we provide incentives. We can actually introduce you to our EDC, which provides tax credits if you're looking to expand or actually buy a building in the county. We provide customized recruitment services. So if you have a special need for a special type of position that you're hiring for, our business services team can coordinate and actually set those up for you as well. We do job fairs in the county, so anybody in here has visited any of our job fairs. All right, thank you. If you have not, you should. We have one coming up on September 7th, so we want to make sure that you're going to get some information to that. But the important thing is that the job fairs bring the job seekers. 200 to 500 people come out on a regular basis to our events, and you now, as a business owner, get to set up shop for absolutely free. So we don't charge any fees or anything for you to come engage our county residents who are quality individuals who are looking for employment. We also help you with incentivizing you as a business to look at hiring in these particular industries. So for example, as Walter mentioned, we focus on healthcare, transportation, construction, our professional services, hospitality, information and technology. We've grouped all that together. We actually have in the room a business consultant that focuses specifically on that industry. So at this time, Danielle Vaughn is our professional services BC. She's raising her hand. So if you're in that industry, I'm gonna ask you to reach out to her. We have Fahim Kareem is with our Transportation and Logistics Consortium. We have, he's in the back, raise his hand. We have Perez Abbott right here in the front, who's our hospitality and retail. We have Miss Erica Owens, who is our healthcare and CAHA person. And we also have there she is, Miss Chanel Payne. She's right there in the back. She deals with all of our IT-related businesses. So I just wanted to let you know that we have business consultants that focus on those specific industries, helping you find the talent that you need in those particular industries. All right, just real quickly, the COVID-19, everybody was affected by that. We came up with the COVID-19 recovery program, which we were able to provide a service which is called the Rapid Reemployment Grant, which was incentivizing businesses to hire our Prince George's County residents who are currently underemployed or unemployed. Last year, we gave over $4 million away to businesses like yours right here locally or outside of the county to hire our county residents. And so we had over 576 people got placed in multiple industries last year as a part of the Rapid Reemployment Grant.
And this year, one of the things that we want to focus on is we're moving away more from the emergency response. Now we're talking about developing that talent. So when you look at right now, what we're focused on right now, what we're working with, and Milena is our Chief Program Officer, there's a lot of more tools that we can offer. One of the things we want to talk about is transitional jobs. There's a lot of people that are in between jobs, but they have a specific skill set. We want to identify employer partners that are looking for assistance in specific, we've outlined those priority industries, industry clusters, and we want to place residents, young adults, transitioning job seekers. They might be going from healthcare to professional services, right? They might be changing from hospitality to transportation logistics, but they got 20 years of work experience, but they don't have 20 years of work experience in transportation logistics. They might have been working at the Gaylord. All right, but we know there's some transferable skills. We need to get them experience. Can they work with you for the next 3 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 weeks? Do you have a need or a project, right? We'll pay them. That's called a transitional job. Now, we also have work experience. If there's somebody that is trained or skilled in this specific, this is what they want to do, but we want to increase their skill set, we can also place them with you. Again, we'll pay them for a significant period of time. This time up to 26 weeks. That's half the year, right? Just depends on their training program. We also have on-the-job training. If you need to hire a specific person, but you know it takes you 6 weeks after you hire them to train them on your way. Like, you know, you do something, but we're special because we're the best in the business, and we do it this way, and it's going to take 8 more weeks before you can deliver a profit to me. We call that on-the-job training, where we'll reimburse you a portion of their salary until they're profitable to your company. That's called an on-the-job training. And then we have apprenticeships, right? Where it's more of a long-term. I think apprenticeships is the most underrated tool for small businesses. We have 92% of our businesses in Prince George County are small. When you see a big company, like we're in the Crowne Plaza, she said this was the old Marriott. Marriott has an internationally developed, multi-million-dollar professional development program. We're right across from Bozzuto. Bozzuto has a doctoral developed professional development program, right? We got apartments, Southern Management. They have their own professional developments, right? There you go. I see it. Oh, there y'all go, right? They'll tell you, Southern Management has a strong internal professional development program. Small businesses struggle with that. What an apprenticeship will do, and it takes time to develop it, apprenticeships allow you that when Bozzuto, when Marriott, when Whiting Turner, when Gilbane, when KPMG, when they register an apprenticeship with the United States Department of Labor and they create those standards, a piece of those standards becomes public record. We can then take those standards, or like a Johns Hopkins, Sibley, MedStar, Kaiser Permanente. We take those records that a percentage that becomes public, we create a training program for your business that mirrors what they've already developed through an apprenticeship, and now your small business can create a training program for your employees that's built using the same type programming, what they call competencies that large business is paid for, and it's called an apprenticeship. Those are 4 tools for these priority industries that for our job seekers, at no cost to you, we can utilize for your business. And then when you hire them after they complete that program, as Ted mentioned, you can get an incentive. So we'll help you develop, train them, and if you hire them, you can then get an incentive. So that's something that we're looking. We gave away $4 million this year. We have more money to give away, but we want to focus on how do we develop that talent. So if that's something you want to look into, please contact, if our business services team can put their hands up again, talk to them. If you want to be a host partner, host site, let's have a conversation. Again, in closing, multiple billion-dollar opportunity. We know what we need to do. We gave you access to it. You know that the programs and target industries that we're looking at, you know that we can enroll in those to connect these transitional employees, unemployed, young adults, to train them, learn your way, your business, and after you identify, after 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or 26 weeks, that they're the person that you need, you can get a grant for hiring them. So we're looking forward to working with you. We believe this is one community, and the strongest thing about community is unity and the power of people and the power of togetherness, and we want to be your partner in helping you and your business thrive and be successful. Thank you for the opportunity on behalf of Employed Prince George's, Ted, and myself. I hope you all have a great week.